Alright, how many times have you guys done this? You're doing the Minesweeper, and next thing you know, you're dead. With this build, you're going to have insane damage and crazy survivability, and the Minesweeper will not down you. But anyways, what's going on, guys? Jolts here, back with another build video, and today we're going over Splash, Zapper, Moze. Now, this build is a hybrid of the Bulletstorm Moze and the Splash Master build. So you're going to be able to spam all the bullets and also put out great splash damage. Now, the way the build works is we're going to be using the Transformer, Minesweeper, and all shock weapons. As you might know, when you wear the Transformer and take any shock damage at all, it goes straight into the shield and you take no damage. You might be thinking, well, if you're only going shock damage, then you're not going to have good damage on, armor and health bars. That is not true. Because we're going to be chaining the Minesweeper over and over, our damage output is going to be exponential. So as long as you're hitting critical hits, you can melt anything. Now, this build will include other elemental weapons, and you can use them if you want to. The focus of the build is to be up in the enemy's face and landing all your crits, and getting the crazy Minesweeper chains. Now, if you're at distance and fighting something like, Grave Ward, yeah, put on something fire and do your Minesweeper chains. Since you have distance, you don't have to worry about downing yourself. Now, I wanted to release this build a long time ago, but we really haven't had any high damage, high pellet count weapons. Well, besides the Sandhawk, but you can't really sustain that with rapid fire. For this build, we have to put out a constant stream of bullets, as well as the bullets having really high base damage. Now, thanks to the Bounty of Blood DLC, we got 2 new amazing weapons for this build, but we'll get to that in just a second. Anyways, if you want to download the save for yourself, I will link it down in the description, but do keep in mind that save is only for PC. As for console, I'm sorry guys, there's no way to convert from PC to console at this point in time, but hopefully in the future we get that option. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the build. Alright, for the gun annoyance, you want to look for consecutive hits. Also with the build, we're not going to be focusing on Iron Bear at all, so there's going to be no jumping into your mech and jumping out for your annoyance. Now, you can if you want to, but for this build, we're not going to be focusing on that. Also with the recent hotfix, Iron Bear is crazy strong, and again, I don't want that to be the focus of the build. First up, we have the Light Show, and this thing is ridiculous. It shoots out 4 high damaging bullets for the cost of 1 ammo. Also, it's a flat off, so you can spam it really fast too. This gun is only going to be good for very close range. For medium to longer ranges, you want to go for the flipper, and this will be the main focus of your build. When you hold down the trigger, it's going to shoot 1 bullet, then 3, and build all the way up to 9 bullets. So after a short time, you're going to be shooting out 9 bullets for the cost of 1 ammo. So 9 times that base damage, which is about like 40,000-ish, I'm not sure exactly, but 40,000 damage per shot is a lot. We have the Sandhawk, and now if you don't have DLC, this has to be the focus of your build. The damage per pellet it puts out is pretty awesome, but the only issue is you can't really sustain it. Even having the best ammo regen build on Moze, you still cannot sustain this thing for a long period of time. For the second wind weapon, you want to go for the Backburner. Not much to really say about this weapon, it's just, extremely strong. For the shield, you definitely want a Transformer. You gotta make sure you're absorbing all the shock damage. For the grenade, you want the light speed. When you combine this with the Minesweeper and the Pull the Holy Pen skill, your grenades will hit critical hits. When used right, this thing can one-shot a lot of mobs, and sometimes bosses too. Now we have the Minesweeper, and you want to make sure on this class mod you do not have Fire into Skag Den. If you have that skill, it will put fire damage on your splash, and the Transformer cannot save you from that. For the artifact, you want the Pearl of Knowledge. That will give you a flat 90% damage bonus all the time. Now, if you don't have DLC, go ahead and pick up a Victory Rush. Like I said before, as long as you have range, you can use any element you want, and so the Miscreant's going to be a really good choice too. The Gargoyle, also a really good choice. This gun will melt anything armored. We have other elements on the flippers, so if you have range, go ahead and use those too. We have a bunch of spades for mobbing and also for bossing if you want to. Just stick up the enemy and watch him blow up. We have some more backburners, you want those, and Yellow Cake is still actually pretty good too. This launcher still shreds a lot of stuff. We have the Plague Bearers, and now the Plague Bearer is going to be for any situation. You can shoot this into a group of mobs and take them all out. Also, it works great for bossing too. Complex Root, and this gun is not bad, but right now there is a glitch with it. If you're boosting splash damage in any form, this gun will explode around the whole map and down you. The exception is if you're using a shock one and the Transformer. Just to demonstrate, let me go ahead and show it off. Now if you're epileptic, go ahead and skip forward about 15 seconds, because things are about to get a little bit flashy. So we're boosting splash damage as you can see here, and we have a radiation one. Let's shoot the Kevin. And yeah, we're dead. So hopefully that will get fixed in the future. We have some more Sandhawks, and Sandhawk is complete overkill for mobbing, but for bossing this thing is really good. Land your critical hits, get the micro grenades, and things will disappear. We have a big boom blaster, and now it's not probably going to be included in the build because I did change my mind last second. We do have a cloning maddening tracker, a spring epicenter. Those are both really good. I tried the core buster. I might take that off the build too. I'm still deciding on that. You get way more damage out of the light speed. And like I mentioned before, if you don't have DLC, use a victory rush. Now mine is a snowdrift for getting around the map. Alright, that's it for all the gears, so let's go over the skill tree. Now, I do want to point out, don't grab anything that's going to give your bullets fire damage. If you score a critical hit and the fire bullet, spawns a micro grenade, that grenade is going to be fire and it will down you. So yeah, make sure for the build you don't grab fire in a skag den, you don't grab experimental munitions, and you don't grab cloud of lead. First off, you have grizzled. This is just to move down the tree. You can put these points anywhere except for fire in the skag den. Means of destruction. When dealing splash damage, you will get ammo and grenades back. Torg cross promotion. This gives you a lot more splash damage and has a chance to double your radius. Pull the holy pin, your grenades can hit critical hits. The thing about this is the minesweeper spawns micro grenades. Those can hit critical hits. Because of that, the minesweeper can proc again and spawn another micro grenade. That is where your crazy exponential damage comes in. Let's go ahead and show that off. So the minesweeper has a 25% chance to spawn a micro grenade. So let's hit a crit. We got one, 537k. Let's see if we can chain one. Got that. And a chain right there, 3 million, you see that? You gotta chain one micro grenade into the next. And that's gonna build up your damage exponentially. Now, if that 3 million damage micro grenade would have critted and, spot another one, that grenade would have been about probably like 20 million. And so you can see what I mean when you're taking on, armored enemies with shock damage. When you're chaining these numbers, enemies just melt. One more thing I want to mention is, let's say you're doing your shock damage and you run into like a shock heavy or something. At that point, you might as well jump in your suit and finish them off. I know I said we're not really focusing on Iron Bear, but that's the only exception. Now we have Vampire, and we're not going to be grenade spamming like throwing grenades, but the Minesweeper grenades do count as grenades like I mentioned a million times, so those grenades right there are going to heal you too. Since they're going to be dropping by the dozen, you're going to stay at full HP. Now, this skill is cool and all, but we're focusing on shock damage, and most of the damage comes from the crazy chains. Short fuse has a lot of visual pollution. Like, if you're up in the enemy's face shooting with short fuse, you're not going to be able to see your screen. All you're going to see is like these white dust clouds. Yeah, I really hope in the future they reduce the visuals on that. It would help a lot on performance too. Also, another reason we don't want it is because it cannot crit. It is flat gun damage on the body, which means it will never spawn a micro grenade. Like I showed off a second ago, you want to go for Vanquisher Rocket Pod and no augments. This will be the most damage you can get out of Iron Bear in a single shot. Alright, for the green tree, you don't want Cloud of Lead because it does add fire damage to your bullets. Because of that, it will spawn fire grenades and that will down you. But you do want to go for match set. This is not really needed, but we gotta move down the tree. Depending on the manufacturers you have for your guns, you can match those and get bonus mag size. Stoke the Embers, this is just to move down the tree and this will give you more fire damage. Now, it's not adding fire damage to your shock bullets, so that is okay. This is just for, if you have range and you want to go for like fire weapons. Redistribution. When you score a critical hit, you're going to get ammo and health regen. Scrappy, while moving, you're going to have bonus weapon damage, handling, weapon swap speed, and mode switch speed. Russian offensive, you can run and gun at the same time, and that will also give you lifesteal. When you're running around shooting something like the flipper, you're never going to die. Scorching RPMs, you will get bonus fire rate and critical hit damage. The Iron Bank, this will give you bonus mag size. Some for the road, we put 1 point here because why not? We're not really focusing on Iron Bear, but you can spam it if you want to. Click click, so as your magazine gets lower, you're going to get bonus gun damage. And finally we have Forge. You will have constant ammo regen. And lastly, for the orange tree, we have Armored Infantry, and that will give you bonus gun damage and damage reduction if your shield is up. And finally for orange tree, we have Drowning in Brass. When you get a kill, you get a stack, and that can stack 3 times. That will give you a lot of gun damage and lower your fire rate by a little bit. That's it for the skill tree, so let's go ahead and show off the build. So we're on Mayhem 10, here's the modifiers I have, and I do recommend rolling more than OK Boomer. Because you're going to be using a lot of sources of grenades, you would definitely want more damage. Alright, so we got a heal, so run and shoot my gun. And thanks to Russian offensive, we got healed. And go for the crit. So all these guys right here, check this out. Get in his face. Okay, they kind of ran away, but we got most of them. For longer range, we're going to use some flippers, so take that out. Go for your crit. And you can see all the micro grenades. Ridiculous. Now, I completely forgot about it, but the Shock Monarch might be a good choice too. I never had time to really get one, so I will go ahead and try to add that to the build if I can. That gun puts out a lot of bullets and high damage, but the only issue is you can't really run around with it. Now, in just a second, we're going to have a lot of enemies down here. Let's see if we can chain them all. So, do that. Take this guy out. Get some chains. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Go for the crit. And they got chained. Awesome. Yeah, getting chains is so easy with this build. So right now we need healing, and you can see all the micro grenades are going to heal me. And they all blew up. Yeah, it's so nice to use the Minesweeper and not worry about, you know, keeping distance. It's super annoying to go down, and thanks to using only shock damage and the Transformer, we don't have to worry about that. Now, if you are going to use other elements such as, you know, fire, you want to keep about this distance right here when killing enemies. If you're any closer, Toward Cross Promotion is going to double the radius and down you. I didn't show it off yet, but the light speed ricochets when you throw it at the floor, and those grenades can crit and spawn micro grenades too. Okay, so all these guys here, do that. Get a micro grenade, hopefully. There it is, thank you. Alright, super close range. Let's go for the light show. Awesome. And your face. Watch out for the barrel. The Toward Cross Promotion skill will actually double the radius too of your barrels. Alright, time for Trot. Let's get that bossing damage. So, probably the Sandhawk. Maybe a chain. And not the best. Melee, make him stagger, get behind him. And spam away. Bye. 17 million, not bad. Alright, let's show off another boss. Because we have distance, we're going to go ahead and use Fire Element. Spam the chest. And get the chains going. Maybe throw one of those. Doesn't really help, but whatever. Okay, not bad. And a little bit more. And the boss is dead. Awesome. Alright, we made it to Aurelia. And Aurelia is a boss I don't really fight very often. So I figured, why not take her on? Go for the crit. Get the chains. And yeah, there's the whole first phase right there. And one more phase. So go for a face. There it is. Come here, you. You move a lot. And boss down. Yeah, I think you guys get the point of the build. So like I said before, you can download it for yourself down in the description. Again, that game save is only for PC though. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And of course, if you did, then please be sure to leave a like because that would be awesome. And if you guys really enjoyed it, be sure to sub. You guys have a great day and I will see you all later. Peace out.